Hey there, my friends. Happy Friday Eve day to everybody. I have something funny to share with y'all. You're probably wondering, where the heck is Tracy sitting? Well, if most of you followed me for any length of time, you know that I come to you in my kitchen over on the other side of our kitchen island where I can stand at the bar and put my coffee table books there and put my laptop there, and the background is nice, right? Well, that countertop is gone. If you notice, I don't have any countertops behind me because our kitchen remodel started a week early. It started this week. So I thought I would find another spot in the house. No, this spot right here, where you can see that I have no countertops, is the best lighting and all the cords reach for everything. So you know what? Here we are. The show must go on. Even if you have no countertops, you still need to go live. All right. So you know how we do this. I've got Facebook and YouTube on my laptop. Smash that subscribe button, YouTubers, so you never miss one of my weekly trainings, because obviously you're never going to know what's kind of out of my mouth or where I'm going to come to you live from. And let me check the Facebook group really fast and just make sure, yep, I see us live there. At least that part's working, right? Anyway, if you're coming to us through Facebook and you have not already done this, since I use a streaming service, go to StreamYard, all one word, StreamYard.com/Facebook, and give permission for Swapna and I to see your name in the comments when you start to ask questions. Otherwise, it just says Facebook user, and that's not any fun. All right, my guest expert today. Let me tell you what we're doing today. I'm really excited about this. I've been trying to get this gal on here for months. She is in such high demand. My friend Swapna, guest expert, y'all, former New York City fashion designer. She has more style in her pinky finger than I have in my entire body. We are going to talk about how you can boost your visibility, because you know I'm all about that, through your style choices. And, how you can get that visibility going as a strategy. And, those visibility strategies lead to our email list growth. So we're going to tie all this together for you. But in case we are new to each other, and this is the first time we've ever met, I am Tracy Beavers. I'm an award-winning business and sales coach with over 20 years of experience in marketing, sales, and business growth. And I have coached hundreds of entrepreneurs just like you to get the visibility you want so that you attract your audience of ideal clients, and they land on your email list. All right, as we go along, you know how we do this. Pop your questions and comments into the chat for us. I'm happy to answer anything about your business. I know Swapna is too, because I know her heart. And if you're watching us by replay and you have a question for us, just go ahead and put it in the comments and then tag me and tag Swapna. We will swoop in and answer that question for you there. No worries. All right, I want to introduce her because she is phenomenal. Swapna is based now in Minneapolis. She is a personal style expert who curates on-brand wardrobes for high-achieving women. She was a New York City fashion designer. I know she's probably got loads of really cool stories she could tell us about that. She teaches success-driven entrepreneurs how to use their wardrobe as a tool to boost their online visibility, to increase their impact, and elevate their personal brand. And she leverages the power of fashion psychology, very cool, color analysis, and the art of accessorizing. I know how much she loves a hoop earring. We were talking about that just before I hit the live button. Her ideal clients range from physicians to coaches to fitness experts, photographers, real estate agents, just high achieving executives and entrepreneurs that want to level up their style like the true industry expert that they are. And when she's not remixing the perfect outfit for her clients, she has a beautiful family. She calls her children the resident picky eaters, which I get. And she is a mom Uber for all the school activities. Let us know in the comments if you can relate to that as well. She is a projector archetype on the human design wheel. And so she no longer feels guilty about naps and Netflix marathons, rewatching Schitt's Creek. That's an outstanding show. She makes binge-worthy homemade brownies. I got to have some of those. And she loves a great sale at Anthropologie. All right, Swapna, I am so excited to have you here. Is there anything you want to add to that introduction before we just dive right in?
I am so pumped to be here, Tracy. And, I know you said that I've been so busy and we have had a hard time getting dates together, but I almost feel like I've had to overcome a lot of health challenges to
Yeah.
actually be here. So the first time we were scheduled, I was recovering from COVID, and now this week I actually have COVID.
Oh my
But me being here today is a testimony to the power of hoops. A cute sweatshirt. This is a sweatshirt, okay, and
God.
some makeup.
Yep, yep, I love it. The show must go
So,
on, right? So
yes,
you
absolutely. It's like your kitchen.
right, you're in isolation with COVID. I have no countertops, and look at us. We're building our businesses, right? So
Correct.
everybody out there that's making an excuse about why you can't go live on video, well, we just trashed all your excuses.
And you know what the reality is? Most of us don't have fantastic looking in-home studios, perfectly curated designer wardrobes,
No.
perfect, like these bodies that the media makes us feel like we all need to be a certain size and shape.
Yep.
And this pursuit of perfection
Yeah.
keeps us from showing up. And
Yes.
if you don't show up, you don't have visibility. The fact is, you don't have leads.
Yeah. You're exactly right. Amen. I mean, mic drop. Just we could just be done right there. That's the statement of the day.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I have so many questions I want to ask you. And I know we've had some questions come in for people
Yes.
that may not be able to hop on live. So we've got a lot of ground to cover. First of all, I want you to tell everybody your story, like your background.
Sure.
Why did you want to be a personal stylist? Like, what inspired you to do that? And how did you get started? And especially
Right.
being in New York City, it sounds like, like a devil wears Prada moment where that position is almost hard to attain. So tell us about that.
Um, so I have had a love of clothes and I wouldn't say fashion, but generally clothes, handmade things since I was a little girl. And my grandmother was the most amazing, gifted, talented um, sewer. She would sew all my clothes. So until I was a teenager, my grandmother used to sew all my little dresses. Okay.
Wow.
And she used to knit and crochet, and she taught me all of this purely to keep me busy in my summer vacations when I was home and doing nothing. That's how she would keep me busy. So
Nice.
I learned some of it from her. So I really fell in love with the craft before I actually fell in love with the glam, which later came in my middle school years, watching an American soap opera called Bold and the Beautiful. Do you
Ah,
remember it?
isn't it still on the air, The Bold and the
It
Beautiful?
is. It is still on the air. But this was year 1993, and I grew up in India. I'm born in India. I was
Yeah.
in my teenage years. The economic policy changed, and they all these American TV shows started airing on Indian TV.
Right.
Bold and the Beautiful was one of them, and they were a family of fashion designers. They were like this fashion empire,
Yes.
and it just seemed so glam. I was like, yes, this is what I want to do.
Nice. Nice. I love
Um,
that story.
And to be honest with you, culturally, most people are become engineers, doctors, lawyers. That landscape has changed a lot since I was a teenager. But back then, people used to think I'm crazy to pursue a career in fashion. But I did it, and my dad said, if you only get into the best school, then you can do it. So, and I did. There was like a stringent acceptance process, and I got in. And so then my parents had to let me do it. So I did
Nice.
that, and that was my degree in design. And there was no master's in fashion at the time in India. So I came here and I got my second bachelor's in merchandising.
Nice.
And I ended up interning for Macy's, and then they hired me as a designer.
That is fun.
Yeah.
Oh
It
my.
is not as glamorous as it looks on Devil Wears Prada.
Oh my goodness. So you got a degree in India. Like your dad threw down the gauntlet and said in the challenge and said, if
Yes.
you get into the best school, you can do it.
Mhm.
You're like, I'm gonna show you. And you did. And that's when you after that you came to the States. Did your family come with you?
No, my brother actually came before me, and he went to school in Texas.
Uh-huh.
See, he now lives in Arizona, and my mom and dad were still in India. They love it there, very settled. I lost my mother 3 years ago, so now my dad's alone, but he
Yeah.
still loves it there. And the other funny thing is, he is an entrepreneur. He has never worked for anyone else a single day in his life. So I had that entrepreneur bug in me.
Yes.
So
Yes.
even when I was working my corporate job for Macy's as a designer, I always knew that I was meant to start my own business.
Nice.
I never knew what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And when I had kids, I took a break. I call it my eternity leave.
Uh-huh.
And I was home with them for 5 years. And I just had this burning desire to use my brain in a different way
Yeah.
and not only have conversations about nap schedules, picky food, picky eaters, and things like that, right? I'm like, come on, there's got to be more. And it wasn't so much that it needed to be a full time income, but it was more to engage my brain differently.
Got
So
it.
I started selling jewelry and accessories. But
Uh-huh.
funny enough, the number one thing people would come to me for and say, "Oh my God, you wear things from Target and it looks so good on you. Can
Right.
you teach me how to put it together?
Nice.
Can you come help me edit my wardrobe?"
Mhm.
People were FaceTiming me from fitting rooms and saying, "Hey, is this okay for a job interview?" So
Nice.
I just knew in that there was something, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
And a brand photographer
Mhm.
asked me, "Will you style women at my headshot event?" I said yes. And from there on, I've never looked back. I mean, she invited me, she started hiring me for all her brand photo shoots.
Nice.
And that's really where I developed the niche of serving women entrepreneurs
Mhm.
and photo shoots.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is awesome. I love it. You and I both are fans of Amy Porterfield. She's been
Yes.
our mentor for a long time.
Absolutely.
And I love what you're describing because it's exactly what she says. When somebody says they want to build a business, but they don't know what they want to do, she's always saying, okay, what are people coming to you for all the time? And I
Yes.
love that you recognized after that started happening repeatedly, you're like, wait a minute. People are coming to
Mm.
me all the time. I should
Yeah.
do this as a business. That's how I got into business and sales coaching because I fully intended to be a life coach starting
Right.
out the gate. But over the past 20 years, people were always asking me, how are you so successful in sales? How can I market this better or differently? And so I love that you listened to what the universe was sending you.
Correct. And, in my bio, I referenced that I'm a human design projector archetype. Do you know your human design, Tracy?
I do not, and I want to. And the problem is that, and maybe there's a solution for it, but we don't know what time I was exactly born.
Oh, okay.
I mean, my mom doesn't remember. It's not on my birth certificate.
I think if she generally remembers if you were born in the morning, afternoon, or evening,
Okay.
that's a good way to narrow it down. I mean, I'm no human design expert, but I'll share this with you. So in human design projector archetypes, one of the strategies is to wait for invitation, which seems really hard to do because we're raised in this very masculine energy culture of hustling and
Yes.
going for the kill.
Yeah.
But the invitation is in those messages. Can you help me?
Yes.
Right? Do
Yeah.
you know how? Can
Right.
you help me find that outfit? Can you help me figure out, my next where my next client is going to come from?
Right. Right.
So just listening. This is why God gives us 2 ears and one mouth, listening to this, yeah, what people are saying.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's really cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I need to figure out what archetype I am on the HD scale. Okay, let's dive into some more questions.
Okay.
There are some common misconceptions that people have about
Hmm.
the role of a personal stylist.
Hmm.
I think they miss sometimes the importance of it in their lives. Can you help us with that? I
Sure.
think I've probably got some misconceptions going on myself.
Sure. So I would say the number one thing people think is that personal stylists are for celebrities.
Yes.
Okay. That is not true. Actually, I think as a personal stylist, working with celebrities is probably the hardest and least paying. So if
Can you?
there's any budding stylists here, let me just tell you that. Like it sounds impressive, it's
Yeah.
not that fun. The
Interesting.
other thing is generally as a culture, fashion, pursuit of beauty is considered vain or frivolous,
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and so then people are always thinking, well, I should put my money in this first. I should invest in technology. I should invest in copywriting. But then what happens is, especially as entrepreneurs, is that we keep hiding behind that logo, behind that Canva graphic, behind that quote, behind that stock image. And
Yes.
what what we are doing is depriving our audience of a true connection with us. I would rather a woman show up in her kitchen with no counters,
Oh,
okay,
goodness. Yeah. Yeah.
and a messy bun, and let me connect with her
Yeah.
real parts of her,
Mhm.
then focus on this goal of looking perfect. There's no such thing as perfection. Perfection is just a thing to keep ourselves safe.
Yeah. And to keep ourselves stuck too,
Right, right,
because perfection's not possible.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
And the other thing people tell me as well, when I achieve like this a milestone in my business, six figures, whatever that is, then I want to work with you.
Right.
When I drop those 25 pounds, I will work with you. Or I
Yeah.
will buy that new pair of jeans when I lose 15 pounds.
Yeah.
Well, have you lost five? Are you doing anything actively about it? You
Right.
know,
Right.
so those are the things that keep people stuck where they are.
Hmm. Yeah.
And it's not even about the clothes or working with a stylist,
Right.
but it keeps them stuck in their progress.
Yeah, yeah. I just had a thought when you were saying, the reasons that you hear, when I hit six figures, I'll hire you. When I
Mhm,
lose 15 pounds, I'll hire you. I'm
mhm,
guilty of the pounds one. I am. I'm
mhm.
guilty of that. I've had body image my whole life. But what
Right.
I had a light bulb go off that they need to stop waiting, because by elevating their personal style,
Right.
that's going to give them more confidence to show up as their authentic selves,
Absolutely.
get them to that six-figure year faster. And if they go ahead and let you style them when they're not at their goal weight, but
Right.
they feel better in their clothes because their
Yes.
clothes look better,
Yes.
even if they feel overweight, that would build their confidence. So that, and when your confidence is built, that's where you can engage in the habits that you're talking about that will help you lose the weight.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
it's funny because I actually have clients who have been through what you're talking about.
Yeah.
One of my very first clients, her name is Peggy. She is a psychologist, an author. She had written her first book, was about to go on tour. And we worked together,
Mhm.
put together outfits for her book tour from everything she already owned in her closet. Okay.
Nice.
And
Nice.
then I saw her a couple of months later and I said, Peggy, have you done something different? You look different. She's like, I lost like 15, 20 pounds. I said, how did you do that? She said, well, when I worked with you and I saw how amazing I looked and felt, it just gave me the energy boost to actually now pursue my fitness goals
Nice.
because I saw the potential in myself.
Yes. And she felt good about herself.
Exactly. I have
Wow.
another client, Jessie, who said, and she worked with me for like 3, 4 months. We even bought her new workout clothes. Okay, that's how much we worked on this. So she said she used to stand all the way in the back of group exercise classes,
Yes.
but with her new workout clothes, she got the confidence to go up front
She was
and
in the front. That's awesome.
she started like people started seeing her.
Yeah.
They saw that she was like enjoying her workout or whatever. Her energy, like she was vibrating at a different level.
Yeah.
She started making friends. Those friendships turned into some business relationships.
Nice.
She made $40,000 in 6 months.
Holy mackerel.
I mean, I'm not saying that her changing her clothes were the only thing that was responsible for that,
Yeah.
but I'm sure it played some part in it.
Oh, it sounds like it was the pivotal foundational piece
Right.
from.
Because your identity shifts.
Yeah, yeah. I
You
love
know?
that she moved from the back to the front. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so you and I have talked about how not only, okay, so personal style not only is great for having better verbal communication, right? But
Yes.
what about the non-verbal communication?
Right. So
Why does
normally when we
that
yeah.
matter?
So normally when we think of nonverbal communication, we're thinking of body language, right? Like when you stand like this versus that. But actually, if you look at things like color psychology
Uh-huh.
and just the even the history of fashion and how men dress versus women dress,
Right.
there is a huge power equation in that. You know, there's a reason why. Okay, so I'll tell you what, blush pink is such a popular color,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So, but blush pink is not a good color to wear if you're going into a conversation where you want to be in a position of power.
Okay. That's a good tip.
It is a good color to wear if you are, let's say, um, in a conference with a young child and you want to project tenderness, compassion, that kind of stuff, right?
Got it.
But
Got
if you are going into a conversation where you want to exude a position of power,
right.
then you want to wear some powerful colors, a red, a navy,
Mhm.
something like that, you know? And that is just the way the human brain is, that responds to certain things a
Right.
certain way.
Right. That makes perfect sense. So it's kind of like why some men will wear a red power tie to a meeting
Correct.
versus like maybe
Correct.
a baby blue or a pink.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, for example, blue is a great example because blue is a color of trust,
Okay.
right? So, have you noticed bankers usually wear navy blue suits?
I did not notice, but
Yes.
now that you mentioned it,
Yeah.
yeah, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So there's the color portion of it.
Yeah.
But also, there is research now that shows that there are certain things that we can incorporate in our dress
Hmm.
that automatically positions us as powerful.
Okay.
It's not it's not necessary to be powerful so that everybody else is our subordinate. That's not the power equation I'm talking about.
Right.
But sometimes we just need to feel it ourselves,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
as we go out and do scary things like talk in front of an audience, maybe do lives. So
Right.
I'll just share a few of those things. Adding
Yes.
height, anything that makes you feel taller.
Okay. Yes, I agree with that. When I was on stage getting my Vanity Fair award in
Right,
front of 2,500 people, I chose to wear a heel. I don't wear
right,
heels, but I was
right,
like, I've got to feel taller and longer today. So
right.
yes, heels. Okay.
Yeah. So
What else?
heels.
Yes.
Another thing is that will help you feel taller is a monochromatic look. So it
Okay.
does not mean head to toe black, but something that's monochromatic. Like
I know I'm
you
laughing because you're always trying to tell us just because it's black doesn't mean it's there are other colors out there.
there, yes, there's like bajillions of colors out there.
Right.
Um, Plus, color is energy, right? So it elevates your energy, it attracts a certain kind of energy.
Mhm.
The other thing is, and I hate to say this, and this comes from the fact that for centuries, men were the ones working
Yes.
and women were staying home.
Right.
So, and in the 80s is really when women started conquering the workplace and shattering some glass ceilings.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, fit of things matters. The more loosey goosey, tunicky your stuff is, the less powerful you will be perceived.
Okay. That's
I don't mean a Kardashian bodycon dress.
right.
That is not what I mean by fit,
Okay.
but something that fits to flatter,
Got
that maybe accentuates your shoulders,
it. Mhm.
fits you properly at the waist. And these are small things that you can take to a tailor and have them done for you.
Right.
So, height, fit, color,
Mhm.
are the three things I would say focus on to
Mhm.
feel powerful. And trust me, there is a shift in your energy. I know that today, when my kids come home from school, they're going to say, "Are you going somewhere?" Because you are dressed differently.
Right, right. Yes. Yeah. I did feel an energy shift when I put on those heels, even though my feet were like,
Yes.
"What are we wearing?" Because I haven't really worn them in 2 years. But I
Right.
did feel my energy shift for sure.
Yes.
And the dress I wore was red because it helped me
Yes.
feel confident and powerful.
Yes.
Let's shift for a second and talk about some common fashion mistakes that you
Mhm.
encounter and how do you help us overcome them? Because I think that's
Okay.
really important for everybody to hear.
So some common mistakes I will say are not they're not really fashion mistakes in terms of outfits, but not loving and owning the body you have right now. And I think that this constant pursuit of, well, I used to be a size 6 15 years ago,
Right.
and I want to get to that weight, keeps us stuck.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say, like, living in the present moment, not in pursuit of this body we will have someday, and
Right.
not the one we had in the past,
Right.
will really make a world of difference. Then people say, well, I don't have the budget to shop,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
That's fine. You don't need to shop, but you can wear clean clothes. You can iron your clothes,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
You can still put together. And I can guarantee you, Tracy, everyone watching this today has a few pieces of clothing in their closet that still have tags on them.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay. We only wear 20% of what we own, and
Yeah.
we wear it 80% of the time.
It's true. Yes.
So don't tell me that you don't have money for clothes because you obviously bought a whole bunch of stuff that doesn't work for you.
Right. Right. Yeah. So then
Right?
go resell that and get money to buy
Right.
the new things that you really want
Correct.
to wear. Yeah.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like a simple tip, but I have found that organizing your closet by color
Uh-huh.
really helps, because this way you see, oh, I already have 10 black long sleeve blouses. I don't need like 11th one.
Right. Yes. Guilty.
And that helps, because what happens is when we shop, for example, we're shopping either because we have an occasion and an emergency, right? Like, oh, I have to give a talk tomorrow, let me go buy a dress.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens is when we're shopping and we don't really know what we love, what flatters us, what lights us up,
Mm-hmm.
we're buying versions of the same thing. I mean, who has more than 3 little black dresses in their closet,
This is true. Yeah.
right?
Yes. Yeah.
Or we want to save money. Again, that frivolous, the whole perception of fashion is frivolous, right? So
Right.
we immediately go to the sale rack, browse the sale section.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you're shopping purely based on price,
Mm-hmm.
you're eliminating so many other things.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather people buy one amazing thing that they will wear a lot,
Mm-hmm.
rather than 25 things that they won't wear.
Right. Yeah. That's a really good point. That is a really, really good point. How what do you recommend when we are going into that important meeting, whether it's virtual or in person,
Mhm.
um, and we're wanting to make that awesome first impression? Like, how do you help people do that?
So it goes to, firstly, we start with an exercise where we define how you want to feel and how you want others to feel when they are with you,
Got it.
right? You cannot empower people if you don't feel empowered yourself.
That needs to be on a quote graphic, Jill. Jill, if you're, I know you're listening. That needs to. We need to quote Swapna on that. Say that again. That was powerful.
You cannot empower other people if you don't feel empowered yourself,
I love it. I love
right?
it. Right.
And a person in a messy bun with the sports bra showing, looking like a hot mess, is just never going to convince me to give my hard earned $2,000 to them for a program. I'm
Right.
sorry.
Right. Yes.
I would rather your clothes be simple and you be put together to earn that trust. And Tracy, in the last several years, I think we have seen an explosion in this digital space, right? With lots of people starting online businesses and becoming digital CEOs, that the consumer is now very discerning. It's not that people are not buying courses and programs,
They
but
are.
they are picky about who they're shopping with.
Yes. You're exactly
And
right.
nobody wants to buy it from a logo. If your profile picture said TBC, Tracy Beaver's Coaching,
Yeah.
definitely not attracting people versus you in your fun pink jacket standing in front of the door.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
picture has energy. It
Yeah.
shows me who Tracy is.
Right, right. Yep. That's what I teach. That personal
Yeah,
profile photo cannot be your logo or a picture of your dog. It has got
right.
to be you. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, start with how you want to feel, how you want others to feel,
Yeah.
right? Um, and you don't have to work with a personal stylist. There's tons of free information. There are blogs, there's YouTube channels, right?
Mhm,
If you truly believe that this will affect you in any way, there's lots of resources
mhm.
to get this information and do it
Right,
yourself.
right,
And then, of course, what some any expert offers is a proven plan to get there faster.
right, right. Okay, I've got another really important question I want to ask.
Go.
So, with all the social media and
Hmm.
the influencer culture, right? We see it
Hmm.
on Instagram, on Facebook, Pinterest, TikTok. How do you help us figure out what is genuine and authentic to us, where we're not just following trends, but really putting up that authentic presence forward?
Hmm.
And specifically, what comes to mind for me is this. Those hats that all the girls are wearing all over social media. I call them the go to brunch hat. It's usually felt.
Yes, like the Yellowstone looking hat.
It's like black, or it's like maroon, or
Yes.
beige, or whatever. And so I told my husband, we were walking through a store, and there were all these hats. And I looked at him and I went, I feel like I need to have a hat. What? I don't want a hat. I don't want to wear a hat. But I feel like all the cute girls, the going to brunch girls are wearing hats. And he just died laughing. And he's like, Tracy, that is the most ridiculous thing. I'm like, I know, but that's what happens to me when I start
Right.
looking at the influencers on. So I start thinking, oh,
Right.
maybe I should have those massive hoop earrings, or maybe I should,
Right.
you know what I'm saying. So how
I
can
know
you
what you're
help
saying.
us figure out that we don't have to have what everybody else is doing?
So, I always say that 80% of your wardrobe should be basics and updated basics.
Okay.
And then 20% of it needs to be trends. So you do need some fun things,
Right.
right?
Right.
But at the end of the day, like let's take this hat example, right? You feel like you need one because everyone else has one,
Right.
right?
Right.
But realistically, do you see yourself wearing it a
No.
lot?
No.
If you just want to have some fun, like it's a hat, is it a big deal? Probably not, right?
Right.
But I think what has happened is that in our culture of this fast fashion and constant trends, and listen, like having Instagram and Facebook is
Yeah.
like looking at a fashion magazine all day long,
Right. Right.
right? So and I mean, it's we're on this endless consumption cycle, but B, it's also creating a lot of dissatisfaction with our bodies because you're constantly looking at other influencers. So number one thing to remind ourselves is that we are people of influence. We're not influencers. My paycheck is not coming from people buying the things I'm wearing,
I like that.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. We are tools
So
of influence. We are not influencers.
correct.
I like that.
Right? An influencer gets paid when you click on their link and buy the stuff.
Right.
So yes, that is their job to show you the cute things.
Right. To make me want to buy the hat.
Right. And on the flip side, I will also say, for example, why is it important to wear some trends, right?
Yeah.
Now let's talk about skinny jeans. 20 years ago, the only thing available in the market was a skinny jean.
Uh-huh.
And to be very honest with you, the skinny jean proportion does not flatter most women.
Hmm.
Okay. Um, but we had no other choice. There
Right.
were not as many choices as we have now.
Hmm.
So there are women now who are still dearly holding on to their skinny jeans.
I like my skinny jeans.
We gotta get you trying some new fun things. Okay. And I will that's like a whole another talk about jeans.
Whole other training.
Whole another training, the denim dilemma.
Right. Yes. Yes.
But the reason that we need to now kind of branch out a little bit is not to please the Gen Z people on TikTok,
Hmm.
but what we wear is also a reflection of the times that we're living in,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
So if we don't embrace some of the things,
Hmm.
then we look outdated and we look irrelevant.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm not saying you need to dress head to toe in trends like an influencer does,
Right.
right?
Right.
But like now the tops are getting shorter because the jeans have higher rises, right?
Uh-huh.
Those reflect the time that we're living in.
Hmm.
So, I mean, hey, if you believe strongly in your skinny jeans, then yes, keep them. But what's going to happen is, let's say you go out to buy new tops, they're
Uh-huh.
not going to work with your skinny jeans anymore because the proportion of the clothing has also changed.
That is a really good point that I did
Yeah.
not even think of. Oh my gosh. See, this is
Yeah.
why you're in charge of our personal style, because that's not something I ever would have thought about.
Yeah. So the proportion changes, right? Because if you're wearing jeans which have more volume, now you're going to have tops which are shorter, maybe more fitted.
Hmm. Right. Yeah. Oh, that's a really good point.
Yeah.
Then yeah, and then I'm irrelevant all from head to toe if I'm hanging on to all that old stuff.
Right. I mean, listen, I'm in a, you know, that children's book, If You Give a Mouse a Cookie.
Uh-huh.
So I have a mom version of it or woman version of it. If you give a woman a new pair of jeans, the chances are she'll want a new shirt to go with it.
Uh-huh.
If she buys a new shirt, she will realize that her old boots don't match anymore. So now she's buying a pair of new boots.
Oh my goodness. And then she needs a fabulous pair of hoop earrings, like we talked about.
Hoop earrings, right? Because now we're no longer doing statement earrings, we're doing lots of layered necklaces and big earrings. So
Yeah.
that's the phase we're in right now. But if, for example, a statement necklace
Uh-huh.
is your thing,
Yeah.
then you should rock it all the time. I mean, I give this example all the time. Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg,
Yes.
she
Yes.
used to wear these beautiful collars over
Right.
her robe.
Right.
And when she was elected to the Supreme Court. That attire, that black robe, is
Uh-huh.
made for a man. It's not
Right.
made for a woman,
Right.
right? And she said, well, now I'm here, and I'm not just going to wear that boring black thing. I'm going to put my own stamp on it. So
Yeah.
she started wearing her necklaces and these collars, right? And
Right.
embellished it. When
Right.
she started doing that, it became her signature look. And
Hmm.
her fans, when they would travel to like Africa, Europe, wherever, they would send her these collars.
Yes. Yeah.
So I would say, as one somebody asked us, right? Like Zuckerberg has his gray sweatshirts and Steve Jobs wore the black turtleneck.
Right.
Well, you can use your creativity to come up with your signature look. In fact, that's a great brand trigger,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Oh, it
Like
is.
when people see something, they think of you.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I always wear bold lipstick. I have people who tell me when they look at a magazine and they see the bold lips, they always think of me because that's how I always dress.
Right. People tell me that they every time they see a yellow Labrador, they think of me. So that doesn't have anything to do with my style, except that that's the only thing you see on social media for me is yellow dog.
But that's okay. That is okay. Next time you just have to bring him to all your photo shoots.
Right, right, right. Exactly, exactly. Oh my goodness, I have loved this conversation. Before we check the questions and dive into those, tell us how can everybody find you to connect with you?
Sure. So you can obviously friend me on Facebook. I hope you will have a profile picture and not a picture of your pet or
Right,
your logo.
right.
And you can also follow me on Instagram, which is style.remix with two X's.
Hmm.
And those are my two favorite platforms to hang out.
Nice.
My website is styleremix.com. If you go there, I actually have a free getting ready for Zoom guide
Hmm.
as well as a brand photo shoot planner. So if you're trying to think of, your business and your brand, then this is a great tool to start planning for it.
Love that. And you, I know Jill has those links because you brought those goodies for us. The ultimate brand
Yes.
photo shoot style kit. Jill's going to
Yes.
drop the link into the comments for everybody to grab that. And the zhuzh up your Zoom looks, which is regularly $47, but it's only $7 for everybody here. Jill's going to pop that link in the comments as well.
Yes.
So excited about those. All right, let me pop over into the questions. Give me 1 second and we just scan through. Oh my gosh, all of our friends are here. Tracy Goodwin, Selena is in the house.
Hi, Selena. Selena is my favorite.
Yes.
And once, I feel like clothes and makeup are like peanut butter and jelly.
They
So
are.
this is why Selena and I get together so well.
Yes, yes, yes. All right. Let's see. There's a lot of Facebook users on here, so I'm having trouble seeing people's names. Jean's in the house. Let's see. Oh my gosh, they're loving it. Oh, Selena asked a question. Hang on 1 second. She said, do you recommend reserving trends for accessories and sticking to the basics for our staple pieces? I think we kind of talked about that, but do you want to elaborate a little bit more?
Yeah. No, I don't recommend that because so I'll tell you this. I have this in common with Diane von Furstenberg in that neither of us owns a white button-down shirt, right? So white button-down shirt is considered such a staple,
Right.
but it's boring. There's so many fun things to wear,
Right.
right? So no, I do recommend that you have even a basic collection of accessories. So a great pair of hoops, a fantastic pair of studs, one pair of like really statement earrings, maybe a few bracelets, right?
Yeah.
And then incorporating them in your look. I always say, if you take a muffin and a cupcake, they're the same. The only thing is that the cupcake is dressed up, right?
Love it. Love it. Yes.
And your accessories are like the sprinkles on the cupcake. So every outfit needs accessories because that really completes the look and it puts it together.
It's the icing. Yeah. It's
Yes.
the icing. Yeah. Love that. Awesome. Okay, my friends, thank you so much for being here. Please go grab Swapna's awesome goodies. Please connect with her. She is one of the kindest, sweetest, badass entrepreneurs you will ever meet. And so not only is she brilliant when it comes to your personal style, but she's also pretty brilliant about building an online business. And so
thank you, Tracy.
You're welcome. And that's where, I always want us to connect with each other, find out how we can help each other. Your next best collaboration partner is waiting, and it may be Swapna. All right, my friends, here's what I want you to do next. If you're not a member of my Facebook group, YouTubers and people coming to me through my Facebook business page, you need to hop in and join us. The Facebook group is called Be a Confident Entrepreneur, Get Visible, and Grow Your Income. We have over 2,000 entrepreneurs just like Swapna and just like a lot of our friends that I shouted out who are here with us today, experts on every topic you can imagine. We network, we connect for collaborations that are going to grow your visibility in your email list. And the best thing is you can promote your offers anytime. Being visible in Facebook groups is a strategy you guys know that I teach because it is that important. It will grow your business. I want you to be live with me here every single Thursday at 11:30 Central. Put it on your calendar, set that phone alarm, share these trainings with your business besties, with your accountability pod mates, and my free Facebook group. If you're in the group and you know people that need to be in the group, invite them. You're going to want to make these genuine connections and network and come into the group to get the support that you need to build the business of your dreams. Next week, I will say I'm live every Thursday at 11:30, but next week we are taking a break. Jill and I decided that today because I've been in launch with my program, and the program starts on Monday. We have 35 awesome students so far. We still have people that are jumping in, and we want to get ready for them. We cannot wait to welcome them in, and I need some time and space and some energy to get that done and get that planned. So next week we will not be here live, but join us the following week, and we will be. And remember, I say this every single week, don't go it alone. Being an entrepreneur is freaking hard. And some days everybody wants to buy what you're selling, and other days nobody can remember your name. And if you think you're alone, you are not. I want you to have a great balance of the week and weekend. And remember, when one of us rises, we all rise. So that's why we have got to keep cheering each other on. And Swapna, I just want to say thank you again for gifting us your time, especially when you are trying to recover from COVID. But you know what? You and I are a great example, like we talked about at the beginning. I don't have any countertops, and you've barely got a voice going today because of the vid going through your system. But we're a perfect example of doing things imperfectly and still making them work.
Absolutely. Perfection is overrated. It just keeps us from the progress. So, thank you, Tracy. And thank you, Jill, for all your support. And I'm glad we could make this happen. And you have an awesome community. It feels like a warm group of, like a group hug. So, keep doing what you're doing, and I'll see you soon.
Yeah, thanks so much. All right, my friends, this is going to end our broadcast. I will see you guys a week from next Thursday. Talk to you soon.